Welcome everybody to our online session of the Using Mixpanel to Gain Insights for our Discovery Usage. This is part of the UKSG online series, the online seminar, the UKSG Understanding Data Visualization online seminar. I am Yoel Kortick from Libris. And as stated, we're here to show Mixpanel. We're showing Mixpanel within the framework here of the data visualization. And Mixpanel, to give a little background, is used with the PrimoV NDE. PrimoV is the discovery tool by Libris. We have Alma as our library management system used by the library staff users. And the end users who perform a search in the library catalog in order to access material use Primo. Primo is the discovery tool. We're now in the process, as we speak, of upgrading to PrimoV NDE. There are already several institutions live on the PrimoV NDE, which you see in front of you. And this PrimoV NDE uses Mixpanel as the tool for data visualization, for reporting, for business intelligence. It's essentially a business intelligence tool which allows the staff of the institution to make evidence-based decisions. And we're going to see what some of those decisions may be and what some of that evidence is, which is part of those evidence-based decisions. So that's most of the background. I will point out, however, until now, we've been using the OBI Oracle Business Intelligence Analytics, and we're switching to the Mixpanel with the PrimoV NDE, and there's a lot of different advantages to the Mixpanel. I'm not going to go into all of them within our short amount of time. But the goal here is we want to see how are the end users using the Mixpanel. And then once we know how they use the Mixpanel, we may have some insights into our library in general or into the Mixpanel interface specifically. We may see, for example, that facets are or aren't being used, or the advanced search is or is not being used, or when is it being used. And then from that, we may change some documentation about the discovery interface. We may change the interface. We may put some areas more prominent than other areas. It can have a lot of different repercussions. It can also have repercussions in the library. We can see, for example, what types of material are users searching for. And that, of course, can have a significant impact on the collection development. So there's a lot of different examples here. We're not going to look at all of the examples, but if you are interested in looking at an example, you can come at any time to developers.xlibrisgroup.com. And if you come to this blog, I'm going to click blog here. And here's a Mixpanel one, the first one appearing there. But if you type here Mixpanel, you'll get a series of blogs showing exactly how to use and what Mixpanel is. I'm going to click on this Mixpanel how-to tag, and you'll see there are 14 blogs here numbered in order because if a user views these from 1 to 14 and it's constantly new ones being added, they all build on each other, and you can quickly and easily become a Mixpanel expert simply by following these documents. So we're going to briefly look at some of these documents. In fact, we're going to start here with making a Mixpanel report of what are users searching for in our catalog, top search strings. So let's begin without further ado. So we're going to jump into the Mixpanel. Let me get a new tab going here. We'll make a brand new Mixpanel. And let's see what's happening here. So going into the Mixpanel. Now, every Mixpanel has a project. Every institution has their own project. I'm going to go into my demo environment project here. And let's see what kind of things are users searching for. So we're going to start with an insights report. We're going to make two different types of reports today, an insights report and a flows report. Let's start with the insights report. So I'm going to click here, create new. Create new insights. So now we're creating a new insights report. And I'm going to select a metric. So the metric, I'm going to start with a search because I'm going to want a search term. And I'm not going to filter it by anything right now, but you can see it's by default giving me a line graph with the number of searches. And it's defaulting by the last 30 days, but I don't want to break it down by the number of searches. By the way, I'm going to change this uniques to total events. I'm going to break it down by the search term. So I click the breakdown and I'll choose search term here. So now I've got a breakdown by search term. A little hard to read this way, though I do on the bottom here have the data, but I'm going to put it here as a table. Now, one of the things you'll notice is I've got Web of Science 15, and it's all lowercase. And I've got Linear Algebra in Action 22, Linear Algebra in Action 21. One's capital, one's not capital. So instead of using that default search term, I can make a new search term to break it down by. And that new search term will be lowercase. So once it's in lowercase, they'll all be combined. So instead of, for example, having the 21 linear algebra in action lowercase and the 22 linear algebra in action uppercase, I'll have them together as 43. But I'll probably even have more because there might be more search terms appearing lower down, which have only some of it capital, some of it not capital. In any case, so here in the breakdown, in the right pane, I'll click the plus, and we're going to create what's called a custom event property, and that's going to be a lowercase search term. So at the create new, I'll choose create custom event property. I'll choose this, I'll call this lowercase search term, and I'll even say here UKSG. So we know that's ours. And here, if you know basic regular expressions or SQL expressions, you'll know what to put here, but I could put in an example here and just change it. But I know it's going to be lower. Then I'm going to put the search term in here, apply. And now you'll see here it's all lowercase. It appears twice because I still have the regular search term. So I'm going to remove the regular search term. On the right, I'm going to click the X next to it. So now I've got, for the last 30 days, the top 12 lowercase search terms. And I want to get rid of this not set. Why that's appearing, we'll save that for another day. Very logical reason. I could filter it here using this filter, or I could just click it and say exclude, and that makes a filter here. So it says now, under filter, it has is not set. Anything else you want to get rid of? Let's get rid of this null. Same thing, I'll click that and say exclude. And maybe instead of the top 12, I'll make it the top 10. And I'll make it like that. I could make this a different visualization. Maybe I'll make it a bar. Yeah, that looks nice. Got to put your mouse over it to read the whole thing. Actually, let's leave that a table. We'll have enough time for the fancy ones later. Okay, so let's save this now. Every report in Mixpanel needs to be saved to a board. I'm going to click Save on the top right, and I'm going to say Save to a new board. And let's call this the official UKSG board. That's where we're going to save everything. The UK Serials Group. Save. So now it's saving to the board. You see it's spinning around here where it says save. And I will call it something different here. I will call it top 10 search terms in the last 30 days. Or better yet, I'll even say in last 12 months, I'll click here to the 12. And that should be enough. Now we got a lot of Web of Science. Okay. And that should do it. Here, just to be sure of something. Official, oops, sorry about that. Saving. Okay, so now we have our first report. Very basic, but we're building on them, going more and more as we move along. Let's create another one. So I'm going to switch back to my other project, then switch to this project just to refresh everything. And let's create another one now. And let's say now we want to know, where are people searching our catalog from? Perhaps we want to make a case of the importance of our catalog. We want to say people are searching from all over the world. Look at these large numbers. Here's our board, by the way, on the bottom left here, the official UKSG board, the top 10 search terms. And we're going to say create new and another insights report. Soon we're going to make a flows. So in this insights report, again, we'll use search because we want to know how many people where are they searching our institution from. By the way, I don't have to use search. Where are they coming, displaying a full record even? In other words, they did it, they searched the catalog and got so far as to find something and display the full record. I'm changing this to total events because the events can be unique, like the number of users who come in, or how many times did a user do something, or how many sessions were there, but within that session, how many display full records were there. So I'm doing the total events now. Still defaulting to 30 days. And now I'm going to break it down. I click the breakdown. I'm going to break it down by country. And again, just to read it easily, I'll start with table. Now, I'm coming from Israel. This catalog is in Israel. So there's 2,000 events in Israel and many less in the other places. Let's go to 12 months. So I probably don't want to include the country I'm already in, because of course there's going to be a lot of searches there. So last time we did a filter, we excluded by clicking and doing exclude. We could also come here to the filter on the right, just to show a different way to do it. I'm clicking filter here on the right. I'm going to filter by country. I'll say equals Israel, add. And now, instead of the default is, I'll change this is to is not. And now I've excluded it. So I could click it and do exclude, click, exclude, or I could do the filter here. So I did the filter this time. Let's say now we want the top 5. So I clicked on the top 12, and instead I'll do 5. Here's the top 5. Now this would probably look best in a pie. So here where it's table, I'll say pie. Now this actually looks more like a donut for those of you used to the OBI, the Oracle Business Intelligence. Again, it changed now to top 12 again. Every time you change visualizations, it changes. But I'm going to make this the top 5 instead. Just change my resolution of tab for a moment. And let's say now we want that looks nice. So this is going to be all the others. So we've got 22% from India, almost 15% from US, Hong Kong 9%, Germany 7%, China 6%, and all the others 40%. Very basic. We could play around quite a bit more. We're just getting a feel for what the Mixpanel does. Let's save this one, clicking on the top right. And now I will choose the official UKSG board, the one we made earlier. Saving it to that board. It's spinning around here on the top right. Here you can see it's saved to that board. And now I will call it, I'll just call it countries searching our catalog. Let's now look at a flow. A flow shows what does the user do before and after a certain event. And there's something important in the flows called a drop-off. A drop-off is when does somebody leave the application? In our case, Mixpanel. So now we're going to say create new flow. But again, I'm just going to choose. I like to choose the new project every time I make a new report just to refresh things. It's really not necessary, but my experience has shown it's a useful thing to do when demoing. So now we're going to say create new flows. Now, first we choose what event do we want to know what is happening before and after for. So I want to know what are they doing before they sign in and what are they doing after they sign in. And if they should be signing in earlier, maybe I need to make the sign in more prominent. Maybe I should put a message on the opening page. Maybe if we have mandatory 30-minute training on how to use the library catalog for undergraduate students, maybe we'll stress to them there. In any case, where it says select step, which note it says select step, previously we saw here select metric. If I click that, I can choose all the different things I want to know what are they doing before. If I want to know what are they doing before display full record, I could choose display full record. I'm going to choose sign in. By the way, everything I'm showing, you can look here at the blogs that I showed earlier. Here's one, how to make the flows report of the before and after login, what we're doing right now. So what do we have here? A is the sign in because they have 0 steps before, 3 steps after. But I want to know 1 step before and 2 steps after. Sounds like a dance. 1 step before, 2 steps after. I'm going to click there and I'm going to choose I want 1 before, 2 after. And now we can see what's happening. So I'm doing it before and after the sign in. You can see in the steps I chose sign in. For column A, it states sign in. Then we have A minus 1. It says A minus 1 here. That's sign in minus 1. Then I have A plus 1. Sign in plus 1. This is the step after the sign in. This is 2 steps after the sign in. Now, what are we talking about the sign in? Let's say here I am in Primo, and I'm not logged in right now. I know I'm not logged in because on the top right it says click to sign in. It states here, sorry about that. It states here, let me move this over here. So it states here that 39.91% of the users were at display full record before they did the sign in. If I put my mouse on here, I can see all of the different ones. If I put my mouse here, I see it's a 39.91%. This is a Sankey diagram, a well-known diagram type. And so 39.91 were at display full record, then signed in, then 10.55% did create physical request. I can already tell you exactly how this happened. I'm going to show you in a minute. And 44.5% did another search. So they did the display full record, sign in, search. What happened? They came in and did a search. So I'm going to search here. Let's say I want United Kingdom Library Science. Then they clicked something and they got to display full record. Let me say available online. No, I don't want available online. I'm going to say actually that I want held by library. We'll see why in a moment. You click here. Now it says, in order to place a request, sign in. So here we can see this is the display full record. And we see here that after the display full record, before the sign in, 39.91 were at display full record. So they were probably here. They wanted to sign in. They click sign in so they can eventually do a request. And then they made the request. So you can see they made the request here. 44% of them did another search. So they got to this stage here. Then they decided to do another search. Instead of library science, they said information science. That would be these users. They had display full records, signed in, did another search. Now, what's significant for us are these drop-offs. So after that sign in, 27.52% dropped off. Apparently, they didn't find what they needed. There's more ways to analyze that drop off, which we're not going to get into in our short 20-minute session here. But even after they came and did another search, then 38.53 here, 38.53 dropped off. Dropped off. So you can put your mouse over the different parts connecting the events here and see more details. And let's save this one also now to that official UKSG board. Spinning around there. And that now we will call event flows before and after sign-in. So now we have 3 different reports inside our board. Let's go take a look at our board. Scrolling down here on the left, here's the board. We do all different kinds of things with the board. And let's say I even want here a icon. Here's my board. I can move things around. I'll take this one and put it here, for example. And maybe I want, this is the official UKSG board. Maybe I want this UKSG icon here. I'll take this. And let's put this somewhere. I'll take this and I'll say File, Save As. Hold on, let's crop that out a bit. Actually, it's all right as it is, just so I can show how easy it is to put this as a an icon in a board. I'll call this the UKSG icon. So here's my board. And add content. On the bottom of my board, here's the flow, by the way. I'll say add content. And I'll add media. I'll select an image. There's all kinds of different things we can add. Here's my UKSG. Oh, there's another icon I had saved earlier. And here it is. Let's move that up over here so it's a little smaller. Okay, so what do we have now? We have the pie of countries searching our catalog. Let's put this one down here. Then we have the top search terms, which we can scroll through here. We can also make these bigger and smaller. In fact, I'm going to make this a little larger here. Larger this way as well. Then we've got our flows. Let's get one more pie here, just to put another nice pie there. There's other ones we didn't even do here, and I see we still have a little bit of time. So let's say, ooh, Chromeverse Firefox, that's a nice one. Let's say now we want another pie. We're going to put another pie in the board, then we're going to see how different places can access this board. So we're going to get the one more pie. We're going to say create the insights report. This time we're going to say that we'll keep saying searching the total events, but we're going to break it down by browser. And we're going to filter by the browser being Chrome and Firefox. Now, what's going to happen is when we get to that board, we can take this board. Let's even do it now because I see we're getting low on time. This board can now be shared with other users. If I say manage sharing, I can say, for example, that I want this to be make board public. I clicked it here to make it public. And I can give access to everybody to this, or just to certain people. I can copy the URL. And now I've got a URL that I can give other people, give them the URL, and that URL opens this board. So other people now can come and view this board without even being logged into Mixpanel. You can just give the icon there, give the icon, and excuse me, the URL, and people can use it. If I were to go into a whole nother browser where for sure there's no cookies of me being logged in, hit 2 brings it. I'm not logged in anywhere, and I can share the data from the Mixpanel with other users. So thank you everybody for joining us, and I hope to be able to attend again one of these UKSG seminars, not even online, but hopefully in person. Thanks a lot, everybody, and we hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.